All right, AP Environmental Science students. Today, I just wanted to put together a little video about scheduling for next year. Some of you guys I'm going to see in class, and some of you I'm not going to see. So this is mainly for you. I'm going to give this little lecture to my kids who are in class the next couple of days. But just kind of going forward into next year and maybe even the year after if you're a sophomore, as far as like what science classes you should or should not be taking for the rest of your high school career. And really, when it comes, what it all boils down to really is you. Everybody's kind of unique as far as what um, classes that they're going to take, and that kind of depends on a couple of things. So one of them is just basically what do you want to do with your life? I'm going to try to talk to a lot of you guys in class if I can, and this question is probably going to come up in our conversation. What do you want to do with your life? I mean, most of you guys are kind of on the second half of your high school careers, and we've got to start really thinking about where are we going to be at, um, you know, going to college or going to trade school or entering the workforce, the military. I mean, what are we going to be doing? So, really, what classes you're taking are going to kind of depend on that. If you're going to go to college, what do you plan on majoring in? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Where do you see yourself working, for example? These are all things that we kind of have to think about. Do you even want to take more science? That's something that I think we need to talk about because several of you, probably have already met your core 40 requirements for taking science in high school. So now the question is do you need more science? Do you want to take more science? Um, and even that kind of comes down to whether or not you like it or not. I mean, if I get it, if science isn't your thing, if you're not really leaning towards that as a career choice or a college major, then we need to think about even if you need to take any more. So that's kind of an important thing to think about. If you're going to take AP science classes, are you willing to put forth the work? I mean, right now you're in an AP environmental science class. Think about what your grade is right now. If you're getting an A or a B, you've probably put in the work that it needs to be successful. But if you're getting a low grade, then you probably haven't put the work in. So, think about what would happen if you took AP biology or AP chemistry. I mean, those classes are probably even more rigorous than APES is. So I think that's a question some of us need to ask ourselves as well. All right. So, again, what should you take? Kind of depends on a lot of different factors. So I'm going to kind of break this down for you a little bit. And I'm going to kind of look at this as either you're a sophomore right now, because I have some sophomores in class, or juniors. If you're a senior right now, I'm not going to schedule you for next year because you're not going to be here. All right, so you probably don't have to watch this video. But for example, for sophomores, so right now you're a current 10th grader. All right, going into 11th grade. So let's think about where we've been already, right? You've all taken either biology or pre-AP biology. You took that as a freshman. Right now, you are either in chemistry or pre-AP chemistry. I would guess most of you are in pre-AP chemistry. And you're also taking AP environmental as a sophomore, or else you wouldn't be here, right? So really, you guys have already had 3 science classes, and now you're ready to take your 4th one, or maybe even your 5th one, as an 11th grader. So here's all of our options, and I kind of broke this down into physics, chemistry, and kind of the biology courses that we offer. So I'm going to kind of go through them just kind of in groups here. So physics, we offer dual credit physics. And I'll be honest, that's kind of a classic junior class. A lot of juniors take dual credit physics. Astronomy, this one here is, I don't really know what they cover in astronomy, I'll be honest with you. But it's like, studying the stars and all that kind of stuff, I guess. But anyway, that's another one you could take. AP physics, I probably would not recommend that unless you're a 12th grader or going into 12th grade. Unless you are a super duper advanced math student, I probably would hold off on that until your 12th grade year. Chemistry wise, we have organic biochemistry, and we also have AP chemistry. Of the two, AP is definitely the harder of the two. It's the more rigorous one. Organic biochem is kind of a mixture of biology and chemistry. Um, so if you kind of are not really sure, and maybe that's something you want to be leaning towards, you can. Nursing majors, I might highly suggest organic biochem. Might be a good class to take. Then we get into our biology. We have dual credit biology two, which is kind of a step up from the biology you took as a freshman. You do get dual credit for that. We have dual credit medical terminology, again, kind of mainly for nursing majors or anybody who wants to enter the medical field. We have dual credit anatomy, same thing along those lines. If you're interested in a medical career, that might be a course to consider. We have AP biology. Now, one thing about AP bio is it is a double block, which means it'll take up two sections of your schedule. Probably easier for seniors to take that than juniors, but as a junior, you can take it if you can fit it into your schedule. Forensic science. This is one that a lot of my students end up taking. If you're kind of into kind of the crime scene type of science, that's probably a good science for you. I've heard a lot of really good things about that class. And if you're kind of on the fence about like, you don't know if you like physics or chemistry or bio, that's kind of like, I think, a good course to take if you're just not sure of anything else that you might be taking. Also, if you are on that PLTW pathway, the third class is the medical interventions. Okay, so pretty much this is all open to you guys as 11th graders. Now, 12th grade, I have a typo here. This should say 12th grade. I'm going to fix that real quick. It's because it's bothering me. Anyway, so for 12th graders, you guys have a lot of similar options. And these are kids going into 12th grade. You will notice that I took AP physics off of this. That's based on if you haven't had any physics, you probably shouldn't be jumping into AP physics. Now, if you're taking physics as a junior and maybe you want to try that as a senior, then okay, but I probably wouldn't advise it unless you've had physics and also maybe taking calculus, a higher level math course. But again, you'll notice that pretty much everything is the same. AP chemistry for you guys going into 12th grade, if you took a year off of chemistry, so you haven't had any chemistry since your sophomore year, I will say that AP chemistry will probably be very challenging. So I'm not going to really advise that if you took a year off of chemistry, but again, I'm not going to tell anybody they can't do something. You could try that if you're kind of dead set on that. Again, all the biology courses are here for you as well. Um, one of the things that, just kind of in closing here, that I really want to encourage is that every student in Crown Point High School, regardless of where you are, what classes you've had, I want to highly encourage everybody to take at least 4 science classes before you graduate. Okay. So again, most of you have had 3 already. In fact, all of you have had 3 already if you get through AP Environmental. And then just think about what your 4th one's going to be. If you guys are, if you want to be a doctor or something, then you probably got to take several more classes. All right. If you're kind of confused and you're not really sure which one you should probably take, come and see me. We'll have that conversation, or send me an email. Let me know what class you're maybe leaning towards, or if you're not sure, again, maybe ask me for some advice and I'll tell you. All right. If I don't hear from you, most likely I'll be putting kids in dual credit physics. That's kind of the default class that I put kids in, unless I hear otherwise from you. All right. Again, you can always take other courses or do whatever you need to. I'm going to try to have a conversation with everybody in class. But if you're, at home and I don't see you, then we're going to have to talk maybe via email. So, all right, guys, that's it for me. Hopefully, this helps some of you figure out what your pathway might be. Again, if you have any questions, get a hold of me. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.